Welcome to my review of the Kukirin G2 scooter. So, Kukirin emailed me a while back and asked me if I'd be interested in reviewing one of their scooters, and I was like, yeah, of course, yeah. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think they've been available in the UK before. I think they've got facilities in Europe, and that's why they're starting to sell in the UK. Now, I was asked for an unboxing video, but I don't really have the room for it. I live in a flat, and there's no way to actually set up a camera to unbox it and have decent content, so I don't do it. The other issue is I don't really know what you'd film, because literally they come in a box and you take them out. And granted, there was a little bit of building on this one, but not very much, so there's not much to show. Basically, the only building on this was you put the top bit into the handlebars, a couple of screws, done. Like, that's it. I mean, there are the front and rear mud guards which come with it as well, and you can put them on or not, it's entirely up to you. And again, a couple of screws in each, done. It's literally a very, very easy scooter to build. Now, first impressions, to look at, it's not the prettiest scooter in the world. It really isn't. I mean, the paint job does nothing for me. It's like a kind of no frills look, but it knows what it is, it's a scooter. Now, when you fold it, you basically push in the lever at the front, pull the pin out and lower it down. There's no folding handlebars, just the actual main stem. Now, I must admit, I did really like the look of the display with the headlight built in. Looks really cool, to be honest. But then I got outside. Now, the problem is, it's all touchscreen, there's no buttons. And it's nice, but you haven't made the screen bright enough, so you can't really see it in daylight. You have to kind of shield it with your hands to see what you're doing. Now, I got on it and set off, and that's when it came to life. The first thing you notice when you ride it is it's extremely quiet. There's no clanking or banging or weird noises. It's just smooth and quiet. There's no even noise from the tyre on the road, which on the others I've had there was. Now, I don't know why, but because there was no noise, it was so quiet and so comfortable, I just assumed they were bigger wheels. Now, the thing is, when you go over bumps on this, it seems to absorb them really, really well. On the other scooters, you go over the like little bumps on the pavement and you judder, and this doesn't. So I had planned to talk about how the bigger wheels absorb the bumps better, how it's a far nicer scooter to ride, and the other scooters you'd probably put these wheels on because they're far better. But then I looked and they're the same size wheels. So I don't know what's changed. One thing that definitely has changed from the other two scooters is the suspension. On those it was quite firm, but this it's really, really bouncy. Like, it absorbs everything really, really well, and it's silent. Now, previously I hadn't actually been on marsh tracks with a scooter because it just felt a bit unstable to me, to be honest. But this one, due to me thinking it had bigger wheels and more stability, I took it on and it performed really, really well. It had absolutely no issues changing surfaces and going from like kind of tarmac to gravel and mud, and it just handled everything through it, really. Basically, my impression of these guys is they've made a scooter that works as a scooter. They're not trying to dazzle you with flashing lights and stuff, because there actually isn't flashing lights in the other two. There's been like logos lit up and like disco lights at the bottom, and this doesn't have any of that. It does have indicators and front and rear lights, but no frills, just what you need. I mean, even the indicators, the front ones, they're flash orange, so I'm assuming there's orange bulbs in them, but the rear ones are part of the brake light and it's just one side flashes red. So they're not bothered to make them orange on the rear, but they still work, they still do the job, they still show which direction you're going in, so they function. Now, something that is bugging me is it feels like a proper scooter. It feels much different than the other two I've used. I don't know why. Like, maybe it's just the suspension, but I don't think it is. I think there's something more that I'm missing and I don't know what it is. But it feels so much more comfortable and smooth than the other two. Let's have a look at the bits. So basically that has 10-inch wheels, 160mm brake discs, front and rear. Now on mine the brakes came fully set up right, so the left brake is the rear brake and the right brake is the front brake. So I'm not messing about changing cables and stuff, it's all as it's meant to be. The base plate on this where you stand is plenty big enough. It's 19cm wide, and with that extra diagonal bit for your footrest, like there's loads of room to stand. It's really comfortable. It's also covered in rubber and it's really nice and grippy, and yeah, it's really nice. There's a front and rear light which are both really good looking, and reflectors on both the front and rear as well. It has a nice big display which is also on the front light, and everything's spaced out nicely and put neatly, nice and easy to read, but it's just not bright enough in the sun. Now to clarify, you can see the speed you're doing and the miles you've done. It's more like the modes that you can't see because of different colours, but the white things seem to stand out alright, it's just the different colours that don't. Now speaking of speed, this thing came unlocked. I took it out, obviously not in the UK because that'd be wrong, but I took it out and it was doing 29 miles an hour. So I messaged Kukirin and asked if there's a way to actually lock it, and he said basically hold the left brake in and press power 4 times. When you do this it puts a little white dot on the display to indicate it's locked, and you can do the same to unlock it. Now on a lot of scooters you need to push off to set off. Now on this you do as well, but then if you hold set on the display, another icon will appear and it turns off, so basically it'll just set off by the throttle. And if you hold mode, another icon appears like a speedometer, and that turns on cruise control, so like while the throttle it just carries on going at the speed you're going at. Really nice. The scooter comes with a 48 volt 15 amp hour battery, and I reckon about 15 to 20 miles on a charge. It also has some really nice hand grips, like the rubber and the kind of squishy and grippy. They're really nice and comfortable to hold. And then on the left hand side you've got your indicators and a horn. Now I must admit the UK government are an absolute waste of time, and we still don't actually have scooter laws that allow us to use them on public land. So obviously I had to go to a different country to use mine. Now to my understanding you can perfectly legally push them anywhere you want, and you can ride them as much as you want on private land. It's just riding on public land that you're not allowed to do. Now in honesty the laws actually bug me even more now, because with the two previous ones it was more convenient to use a scooter than a bike because carrying it downstairs is much easier. But there was an offset because they were less comfortable on a bike, but this isn't. Like there's no offset with this, it's just more convenient in every way than a bike. But I'm not allowed it on public land. To me, this is a proper scooter. Now I would like the display to be brighter. I'd like a bigger battery for more range. I'd kind of like the flashing lights, I don't know why, but I do like them. But again, that's not functional. I would like a different paint job because I don't like it at all. But function wise, this thing's fantastic. I even think the price point's really good. At $4.39 you can't go wrong, and then with my discount code you get another 20 quid off it. Every bit helps, right? For some reason they've made me use two different discount codes, one for America and one for EU, so I'll put links and the discount codes in the description for you. Oh, another thing I wish they had. I don't know if I saw it on this one or in a different one, but when I actually first bought Kukirin, I looked at a scooter. It had like a little key cut-off switch, and I wish they'd put them on everything, because anything that stops somebody just taking your bike or scooter and just walking away with it and turning it on is great to me. So I wish they had some sort of device or some sort of locking thing with a key to turn it on and off, because it makes it more secure. Apparently this year they're going to do some sort of legislation to tell us what we can and can't do on scooters. The sooner the better really, because they need to sort this law out. There's no reason why scooters should be banned. I could use this everywhere, to be honest. Not only could I use this all the time, I would use this all the time. But unfortunately at the moment I can't. So if you're looking to buy a scooter for private land, then this thing's fantastic. It really is. So once again, if you got this far, thank you for watching. If you enjoy the content I'm making, please do like, share and subscribe, it really helps. Any questions, comments, pop them in the comment section, I'll get back to you. And I'll see you in the next video.